90% chance tonight, low 35, and a 40% chance tomorrow, high 40. Sunshine returns on Friday with a high of 50, mostly sunny for the first round of the 3A playoffs at the Train Yard, high of 48, and for Sunday, mostly sunny with a high of 50. Overnight low 42, yesterday's high was 52. 6/100ths of an inch of rainfall overnight. Currently, humidity is at 99%, winds from the west-northwest at 5 miles an hour, pressure at 30.0. Right now, we've got cloudy skies and 52, or rather, 45 here at the WFIW studios east of Fairfield.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
K-O.
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 K-O. K-O.
Good morning.
Good morning.
KO Wednesday, Ken Odie here. It's Mark Turner over there. I'm Mike Dreeth. And we're very happy to have you with us here this morning. Drizzly 45 Burr.
Yeah.
Burr.
45's not bad.
Hey, at least we don't have to shovel it.
That's right.
That's
and
true.
There are
Yet.
people north that are, and out west, lots of snow around. It was about 46 as I did the play-by-play last night on the Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash.
Out at Frontier Community College. I was
Who
sipping,
won?
You know, they split the teams. You know, the
Baseball and softball players,
right.
yeah.
So, A team won. I just can't tell you.
So, what
which
were some?
team it was.
Let's hear about the costumes. What were some of the costumes?
I think the best one was an alien carrying somebody. And the way it worked is the person was, walking, and the alien came out of his back. It was a blow-up alien, but, the eyes made it look like the alien was carrying him when really, I don't know how else to explain it. It was just an illusion, and it was really good, quite honestly.
Guy told me that it was an optimal illusion.
It was an optimal
Yeah.
illusion. That's what it was. I was sipping on a cappuccino with no caffeine so that I could sleep, with pumpkin spice sprinkled in it from the Bobcat Den.
Your man card is in jeopardy.
It was good. It
Yeah.
was mighty fine.
You're in danger.
If I catch you watching a Hallmark movie, you are.
No, I do
done.
not do that. Stephen Potts, by the way, let us know that they're doing like trick-or-treating there at Ed's Meta Center all day, today and tomorrow. You can come by with your kids. And
They're going to have a costume contest,
yes,
too,
they
aren't
are.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
everything before 6 o'clock. And the big news out of FCHS.
Yeah, Cade Carter, senior running back, defensive back for the Mules. He's committed to SIU Carbondale to play football next year.
Saluki Dogs, I'm a proud grad.
The official announcement on Facebook said, I am announcing my commitment to SIU to further my academic and football career.
Right.
That's how it was worded. So
He's had a great season.
he has had an awfully good season.
So
And
good luck.
Other big news out of FCHS, volleyball wins last night.
And you
No,
liked,
no surprise.
well, it wasn't. I mean, they forced their will on the other team. They were that much better.
They were pretty good. They looked pretty good.
You know, I
last
think
night.
if you haven't been down to the FCHS campus and just walked around, do so. It looks awesome.
It does.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
does
they've got
look great.
they've got a organization out there that landscapes it. The signage. Got a new sign out in front. The football complex. I mean,
It's
it looks,
most impressive to
it looks
people
great.
coming in, and I've always loved the Mule Barn. I just think it's one of the great venues to watch high school basketball. I really do. So there, I think that I had a Gordy sent me something asking if there's a job fair that's being advertised on the station.
Does he need a job?
I don't know. Maybe Gordy needs something. He said, "Did I hear an ad for a job fair in our area?" I don't know. I'll have to look around and see if the staff is aware of one and that they will hand that
Craft
to me.
fair. Maybe that's what it's talking about.
No, it's a job fair. All right. In my hand, the bucket of bunk.
The bucket of bunk. The bucket of bunk.
It's the bucket of bunk.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
this
you guys
is,
may want to copyright that.
I'm afraid it's going to get stolen somehow
You
along
know,
the way, especially
yeah.
since we're, on YouTube. Fred Friendly. Does that name
Fred Friendly?
Does that name ring a bell at all?
Hi, folks. Friendly used cars.
No.
See, that's what I was thinking.
No.
Hi, I'm Fred from Fred Friendly Chevrolet.
He died in 1998 at the age of 82. A very significant person. He created, along with Edward R. Murrow, the See It Now series on CBS. Worked with Murrow for the first time back post World War II on a historical record album called I Can See It Now, referring to World War II and the reports that Murrow did from the rooftops
Right,
as
London.
bombing in London. And he and Murrow really were the ones that brought down Senator Joseph McCarthy in March of 1954. Using his own words, they followed him around as he talked about communism in the government and used his own words against him in that See It Now program. I know way too much about this because it was part of my master's thesis. Anyway, he went on, Fred Friendly did, to become the president of CBS News from 1964 to 1966. He resigned when The Lucy Show preempted live coverage of the Senate debate on Vietnam. He got mad and he quit. Married twice, 6 kids. That's Fred Friendly.
Freddie, you got some splaining to do.
Yeah.
Grace Slick is
Oh,
80
Grace.
today. 80
From
years
the
old.
Jefferson Airplane.
And Jefferson Starship and just
And-
Starship.
New York State Penitentiary.
She had some problems. 4 decades in the spotlight. Some of the songs: "Somebody to Love," "White Rabbit,"
White Rabbit. It's got to be a classic.
"We
Oh,
Built
yeah.
This City," on rock and roll. Publicly acknowledged problems with alcoholism, LSD, marijuana, you name it, other substances. In a concert in Germany, she started a riot when she mocked Germans for losing World War II.
Got to know your audience.
Ooh,
Oh.
not good.
Oh.
She tried to get in. She graduated from college with Tricia Nixon, and she was invited to the White House for a tea
Yeah.
with Tricia. She brought along Abby Hoffman. Okay,
That went over really well.
and
And they all had some sugar cubes.
well, no, yeah, well, that's you're right on the money. Hoffman was there, and he was going to spike the punch with LSD. And the Secret Service said, "Listen, this is
Probably not a good idea.
females only." And so Grace got mad, and her and Abby ran off the grounds of the White House. Grace Slick, 80 years old today. Henry Winkler is 74 today. Arthur Fonzarelli of Happy Days. Arrested Development. He was also a part of Parks and Recreation. And right now he's on HBO's Barry, which I haven't seen.
Never seen that.
He has a master's degree from Yale. A lot of people don't realize how accomplished he is. Many movies as well. Scream in 1996. The Waterboy in 1998. He's also the godfather to Ken Howard's son.
Okay.
His middle name is Franklin. He was named after FDR. And he's an avid fly fisherman, fishes in Montana. He says fly fishing is like a washing machine for your brain.
Okay.
Not a bad quote, I thought. But he's never tasted a trout. Never tasted a trout. It's all catch and release.
I was say he must be a poor fisherman.
No. Not even at a restaurant has he ever had a trout. So it's the practice. It's not the. It's sort of like the way I was when deer hunting for a couple of years. It was the practice,
experience.
the
It's the
experience. It
experience.
wasn't the kill.
Fly
so to
fishing is not easy to do.
No, it isn't.
You got to have some talent and some hand-eye coordination to do that.
Unlike most folks in Hollywood, he's only been married once, is still married, has 3 kids. Some interesting date. This is an interesting date in history. In 1938, 23-year-old Orson Welles,
23, really?
23 years old, The War of the Worlds. He's already established in radio as the voice of the Shadow. The War of the Worlds was on
Knows
CBS.
What lurks.
People were listening. This was really interesting. People were listening to Edgar Bergen on NBC at 8 o'clock. It was his show. CBS had the Mercury Theater on,
Right.
but they were listening to the comedy bit, that the monologue at the beginning of Bergen's NBC show.
And they missed the disclaimer.
They moved over to CBS at 8:12, and the invasion was on.
Man.
And there was hysteria. Little known singer was on, and that's what prompted them to move off of Bergen to the War of the Worlds with Orson Welles. There were reports of landings that came to police, landings of Martians in Chicago and St. Louis. Anyway, it was a realistic radio drama that happened. I remember. Do you remember the 1953 movie War of the Worlds?
Yeah, I
with
remember
Gene
that.
Barry?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie.
That's a great movie.
It's a super movie. Anyway, the War of the Worlds today panicked.
Now, the one
United
with
States.
Tom Cruise that came out later, the remake.
Yeah, me neither. I'm with you on that. This date, 1945, the U.S. government announced the end of shoe rationing.
We had shoe rationing in World War II.
Would have killed my wife.
I didn't know that.
Man.
Yeah, I guess it's. I
I know
guess
there's sugar and tires.
My
and
God, what did Leona
Gasoline.
Helmsley do?
She went crazy. She went crazy.
Or Imelda Marcus?
Oh, she couldn't have lived in the United
Black
States
market.
during that time.
yeah.
black market.
1961, the Soviet Party Congress unanimously approved an order to remove Joseph Stalin's body from Lenin's tomb. What was Stalin doing in Lenin's tomb to begin
Who's
with?
buried in Lenin's tomb? Well,
Yeah.
Joseph Stalin.
You know, they just needed a place to put him till they got his tomb ready, I guess.
right.
I don't know.
Isn't that where John Lennon is now?
In Lenin's tomb?
Don't let
Wrong
me, don't,
spelling.
don't let me go there. 2001, Michael Jordan returned to the NBA with the Washington Wizards after a 3.5-year retirement. The Wizards lost 93-91 on this date to the New York Knicks.
Wasn't that the second time that Michael Jordan retired?
Yeah, he did, and came back to Chicago.
Because he retired once.
Yeah.
Then he went
You're
and
right.
played baseball for Birmingham.
Right.
Then he came back and he wore number 45. Then he retired again, and then he came back to Washington.
What was the goal of changing your number from 23 to 45?
Because he wore 45 in Birmingham in the baseball uniform.
More jersey sales.
That's it.
Oh, it had to be, yeah.
Yeah, everybody then went out that had their 23 Jordan uniform. They went out and bought the 45. He double dipped on you. On this date in 1970 in music history, Jim Morrison sentenced to 6 months in jail and fined $500 for exposing himself in Miami, Florida. That's worse than telling the Germans they messed up World War II, I guess.
Wonder if the two girls from the World Series the other night got fined,
No, they just
No.
were
escorted out.
and told they couldn't come back. I missed that.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
How about you, Odie?
Saw the replay
It was blurred out then, though,
or
buddy.
the picture or the picture. I
You
saw the
want to see
pictures.
it? You want to see it live? Is what you want to see. He was released on $50,000 bond. I'm talking about Jim Morrison now. Until an appeal could be heard. 1984, Barry Manilow opened at Radio City Music Hall in New York. The shows sold out for $1.9 million. Manilow beat the previous record by $100,000 that was held by Diana Ross. Of course, as we revealed yesterday, Barry had a beagle named Bagel
And he wrote the songs.
that makes the whole world sing.
I think Barry's had some work done. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
He's taken up residency in Las Vegas. That's the only place he plays now.
He and Wayne Newton look like twins.
Wow.
And
Man.
apparently George Strait.
George is there, yes. George only plays there a couple of weeks a year. I hear about it a couple of weeks ahead of that. She's been there twice to see George
Yeah.
in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
Been there, done that.
Didn't George Strait do the national anthem last night at the ball game?
I didn't know that.
I thought. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought I saw George Strait doing the national anthem
He was in Houston. It could be.
at the baseball game last night.
I've never heard George do the national anthem. I'm sure it would be.
So he could do it.
I bet he could. He's
Yeah.
this guy's
We'll,
got-
we'll
can
find
sing.
out during the break for sure.
Okay. Well,
Alrighty.
I'm surprised. I haven't received a text to that effect because someone would have been there watching the beginning of the game. She wouldn't have been interested in the rest of the game, but
Yeah.
she would have been interested in the beginning of the game. I've accepted that.
That there's another
Another man in her
girl's
life. Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder how many deer, though, that George Strait's killed.
I bet he's never got 2 on consecutive weekends.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably
You know,
right.
we're trying to, as friends, we are trying to pump you up, man, help you out.
George would never climb into a tree. But he's more than willing to ride on a horse and rope
Yeah.
a stampeding bull, steer.
Maybe he doesn't hunt deer. Maybe he ropes deer.
Yeah, he runs him down and jumps on him and cuts their jugular with a knife.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, now, here's the thing. I had a couple of really weenie questions, Monday and Tuesday,
Yeah.
for the question of the day. Weenies. 100 votes, that's all I got. And then it turns out it's KO Wednesday. So what do? I call the great provocateur.
Oh, I have been corrected.
Uh-oh, no.
It was Clay Walker.
Well, don't even mention him in the same breath as George Strait, or I'm going to be in trouble.
Well, you didn't.
He's
mention
no
it.
George
I
Strait.
did.
Clay Walker, never heard of her.
I know George Strait. He's no George Strait.
Clay Walker was had a few big hits back in the late 80s, early 90s.
I just don't follow New Country. Sorry.
You are a straight
and
person then.
And he also made headlines because he has MS, has multiple sclerosis.
Clay Walker does.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
yeah. So there you go.
You see, we belly up to the trough of knowledge and slurp here almost every day, don't we?
we learn a little something.
We do. All right. Well,
Sometimes it's not much, but
back to the question of the day, provided by the great provocateur.
Uh-huh.
And he stirred it up, as he always does. The question of the day was, the Fairfield City Council may appropriate money in the 2020 budget to tear down dilapidated structures in town. Do you approve of your tax money being used in this purpose? And we'll give you the results with Ken Odie on Morning Coffee after this break.
You check things all the time, like your email every 10 seconds or your ex's Instagram. But what about checking something as important as your credit? Well, Discover makes it quick, easy, and best of all, free. Discover is now offering FICO credit scores to everyone for free, even if you're not a customer. And checking your score won't hurt your credit. We call it the Discover Credit Scorecard. And once you know your score, you should check to see if your current credit card is the best fit for you. Check your credit, compare your card. Go to discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
Welcome back to Amazon Prime one-day delivery trivia. Now to the next question. If Adam can get a chainsaw in 1 day with Amazon Prime one-day delivery, and Sharon can get a leaf blower in 1 day with one-day delivery, what are the odds their neighbor will order noise-canceling headphones with Amazon Prime one-day delivery? Yes, Sarah.
Pretty good?
Correct. Introducing one-day delivery from Amazon Prime. Order from millions of items. Peace and quiet delivered.
Get on target with Ultra Products. With over 47 years of experience as a full-line archery store, they have all your hunting needs, including bows by Elite, PSE, Bear, Diamond, crossbows by Raven, Mission, Barnett, 10-Point, Horton, and Excalibur, ammo, tree stands, clothing, mug boots, and much more. Call them at 842-5796 or hunt for them 2 miles north of the Fairfield Huts, behind the White House with a white fence. Open 8:30 to 6 weekdays and 8 to 12 on Saturdays.
Farming. It's genetics, what you're made of. It's agronomy, local knowledge and having the tools to put the right product in the right place. It's service, built on trust. grit, and determination. Because what it takes to make the best product is a lot like what it takes to make a farmer. Golden Harvest, rooted in genetics, agronomy, and service.
Grow with Golden Harvest seed through the Golden Advantage program. 0% interest on extended terms. Contact your seed advisor today.
The Mules host Alton Marquette Saturday in the first round of the 3A football playoffs, and you can catch all the action on WFIW 104.9 and WFIWradio.com. Kickoff Saturday is 2 p.m. at the Train Yard. Our broadcast 1:45 p.m. with pregame information. Mules football is brought to you by Garmin Trucking, Fairfield Ready Mix, Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler, Carter Trucking, FNB Fairfield National Bank, and Wayne White Propane.
Hi, this is Bill Stevens with another time capsule quiz. Which month and year was it when the USA turned 200? Queen Elizabeth visiting President Ford assured us there were no hard feelings.
Mr. President, the British and American people are as close today as two peoples have ever been.
Jimmy Carter was nominated for president. Israeli commandos rescued 100 hostages at Entebbe Airport. Johnny Miller captured the British Open. Bjorn Borg and Chris Evert were champions at Wimbledon. Nadia Comaneci dazzled the Montreal Olympics with 7 perfect 10s. And here's what was new on the radio.
Masquerade. If you know what I mean. Someone's knocking at the door. Ooh, baby, I love your way. I'm gonna love you a little bit more. And I'd really love to see you tonight.
Well, what do you think? The answer and a twist of the top song from the month and year are coming up.
It's an 11-day spooktacular super sale at J. Wilderman Autoplex in Mount Carmel. Your Southern Illinois Ford, Jeep, Ram, Chrysler, Dodge Superpower is offering total Ram discounts of up to $14,000, $7,500 off Renegade, and $13,000 off F-150. Over 300 pre-owned vehicles, over 70 vehicles, $79 to $199 per month with approved credit. See all the bargains at jwildermanautoplex.com.
July 1976. Don't go breaking my heart.
Elton John and Kiki D with Don't Go Breaking My Heart, the top song of July 1976. This is Bill Stevens for tcapsule.com. Back soon with another time capsule.
Is Old Man Winter ahead of us? Carnaby offers the best outerwear, coats, and vests from Montana, Charlie B, and Tribal. Puffers, wools, fleece, fox furs, and leathers. Trending patterns and colors. They do layaway for a colder day. Brighton's holiday collections are arriving daily. Brighton's travel jewelry case is free with a purchase of $75 through November 6th. Come see the girls at Carnaby Square and check out the new Carissa and Me classic sweaters, Sherpa vests, and pullovers. Open late on Thursday and 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday.
All right. Back on Morning Coffee.
Yes, and we've got a question of the day that rattled some cages here.
Generated a lot of interest.
Sure did. It's always that way when Ken Odie gives me the question. If you could just give me another question tomorrow to do this well. Over 2,500 people visited, considered, 347 voted. The question was, the Fairfield City Council may appropriate money in the 2020 budget to tear down dilapidated structures in town. Do you approve of your tax dollars being used for this purpose? Now, before I give you the results, let me ask, Ken, because you are, of course, learned in these matters. You can knock down a house, but then isn't it kind of incumbent to pick up what's left of the house after you knock it down?
I know which one you're talking about. It was a dangerous structure. They knocked it down. Now it's an unsightly structure.
It's right in the middle of
and I'm
the
sure
town.
it's pretty dangerous.
And it's in court. I don't think people
there.
realize, and they brought that out in council, that it's in court to get it taken care
Okay.
of.
Right.
But, folks, this is a long process.
Yeah.
That's why a municipal court is badly needed.
Because that can cut down.
You bet.
Okay, well, that's good to know. That is good to know. when the council's talking about that, that means they're making an attempt to try to make this.
And I hear reading all this stuff. Well, the city's not doing their job; they're not enforcing it. Yeah, they are. I mean, but it's a time-consuming process, and it ends up costing you more than it's probably the property's worth.
That means they have to be able to go back on the property owner. Yes.
And the city will, I guess, can. I know one of the comments was that the city put a lien on the property and then sell the property to recoup some of their loss, and they've done that in the past, and that's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, the question may, are you supportive of the city using budget money to knock down dilapidated houses? And 78% of the people said yes.
And we're not talking about 20 structures here. We're talking about maybe 3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And it's not just houses.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. You have a business in particular that bothers you. Former business.
Oh, yeah. There's several that I've seen.
On the outskirts of town. Mm-hmm. You see as you come into town.
You see them from 3 different directions, or 2 different directions as you come into town.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
Rick says they need to make the property owner pay for it. Well, yes, of course. John says, I don't live in your town, but eyesores leave a bad taste in the mouths of anyone having to witness it. JB says, really? This should have always been an ongoing policy. My solution to the city, do your job. Jeff says, yes, as long as they put a lien on the property against the work that's been done. And if the owners don't pay up, then take possession and sell the lots and get the money back for the work, lawyer, and court fees. Kent says, absolutely. I can throw a rock from my house and hit 5 abandoned houses in a 1-block radius. That's concerning.
It is.
That's very concerning. Ace says, utilize city workers, equipment, and assets. That became the issue in this thread.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody suggested that most of the work done at this point, they're hiring out-of-town contractors. I don't know that to be the case, to do the utility poles, the water, the lines, the sewer, all that stuff. Are they using city workers? That's a good question. I assume they have used some city workers, but do you know that?
I don't know.
I don't either. So, Paula asks, who gets to decide what's dilapidated?
I think they have a criteria.
Okay, if the building's empty and there's weeds growing up all the way around it and it hasn't been cleaned up for 6 months to a year, I would say that's dilapidated to me. Abandoned, dilapidated, whatever.
Is it a private residence or a business? If someone owns the property, are up to date on taxes, but can't pay for upkeep, maybe the city should work something out with them, she asks. Opines. So there you go.
Sell the property if you can't afford it.
Yeah, I would say that too. I would say it's really the responsibility of the homeowner. And we have a call. Go ahead.
Good morning. You're on Morning Coffee.
Get her done.
Yes, of course.
All right.
Really, in the words of the prophet, get her done. Done. Yes. Well,
GITERDUN. Get her done.
Okay, well, so there you go. There's a good question of the day. Ken, did that perform the way you thought it was going to?
You never know.
You don't ever know. You really don't. Sometimes those things swing one way or the other, and you just can't figure it out. Well, I was looking at the news wire this morning and came up with a couple of interesting stories. Here's one I thought was interesting. In Lincoln, Nebraska police are looking for a man who tried to open a bank account with a fake $1 million bill.
Do they even make a $1 million bill?
I don't think so. Can you see walking into Casey's and say, "Can you break this for me?"
Yeah.
I want 1 million lottery tickets.
Yeah. 1 million scratch-off lottery tickets, and I will scratch them off while you wait behind me in line.
This guy walks in. He's to the Pinnacle
Maybe
Bank.
that's what the city ought to do, firing people who do that.
Oh, that would be, yeah. Are you kidding me? You've been behind people that scratch off while you're in line?
I have been behind people. They will get a cup of coffee, and they'll go, oh, yeah, and I want 5 lottery tickets for Tuesday night's drawing with different numbers, and they'll have 7 for Saturday night's drawing with different numbers.
And give me 10 scratchers, too.
Yeah.
And they do the 10 scratchers while they're waiting there?
Yep.
Well, they'll scratch a few of them while they're waiting, yeah.
While they're not scratching something else.
Clerks at the convenience stores, if there are people in line, say, would you mind moving over to scratch your lottery tickets off?
Scratch line.
That's right.
A scratch area. Designated scratch area.
Well, that's... That
penny.
sign went up. There would be other
complimentary pennies to scratch with.
I'll show up and scratch.
I will step down off the soapbox now.
No, well, you look like you were ready to pontificate. And talk isn't always cheap, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, the staff at the Pinnacle Bank in Lincoln said the man strolled in at about 9:30 in the morning, showed the bill to a teller, and claimed it was real. The teller tried to tell him it wasn't, and then he left. Investigators are reviewing security footage to try to identify the man to determine if he's been the victim of a crime. Someone told him it was $1 million bill.
And he believed him.
Apparently. Either that, that's the only thing you could believe in this,
The
right?
sad thing is I could probably name 5 or 6 people right here in Fairfield that would do that.
Yeah. Get a call from out of the country or an email from out of the country that says, we're in need of money, and if you'll send us this amount of money, we'll send you, for your trouble, a $100 bill.
It's in the mail. Get a load of this. A 1-ton boulder is missing from the Prescott National Forest in Arizona, and the U.S. Forest Service wants it back. Officials say Wizard Rock, as it was known, a beautiful black boulder with white quartz running through it, is special to the community. And for the second time in 4 months, that boulders and other boulders have been removed from the forest by someone using heavy equipment. How could you slip in with heavy equipment, pick up a 1-ton boulder, and get it off the property?
Without being seen.
Without being seen.
Has anybody been up through Atkinson Forest recently? Maybe up there.
That'd be a good addition.
That's true.
The Wizard Rock.
Rock.
Come to Fairfield and see the Wizard Rock.
That's right. We'd have to rename it.
Well, somebody would whiz on it.
Pork Burger Rock.
Yeah.
Pork Burger Stone.
All right. Well, a man tore down his penny pyramid. I used to, in another town, we had an old log cabin that we wanted to restore, and we called it the campaign History Makes Sense. CENTS.
Yeah.
And then I got the school kids to raise pennies because they said it was going to cost about $10,000 to be able to restore it.
Mm-hmm.
So we raised 1 million pennies. You know how much 1 million pennies weighs?
More than 1 million, probably more than
$1 million bill. That's for sure.
$1 million bill, yeah.
Anyway,
Raised a lot, I'm sure.
This guy in Phoenix, a lot of interesting things going on in Arizona. A pyramid made of pennies is netting an Arizona man more serious cash. Corey Nielsen used more than 1 million pennies he collected to construct a pyramid over a span of about 3 years, setting a new Guinness Book World Record for the feat. Fox 10 Phoenix reports that Nielsen took the roughly 6,000 pounds, that's 3 tons.
Good heavens.
Yeah.
That's 3 tons of pennies to a local credit union.
Can you cash these pennies for me?
I'll trade you for $1 million bill.
You're going to have a dump truck.
Well, yeah.
3 tons.
Yeah. You'd have
It's
to have
gonna be
more, you'd have to have more than one dump truck.
It would be a sturdy dump truck if you did that. 3 tons. leaving him with more than $10,000. Of course, $10,000, 1 million pennies equals $10,000. There you go.
When I was working as a
And where is the credit union going to store those pennies?
Well, they'd have to
after
call
they
the
accept
federal.
it?
Yeah, they'd have to go and cash them in
feds.
somewhere.
When I was working at Brown Chevrolet, the owner there, Betty Rutledge, and many people listening will, of course, know who she is and what type of a shrewd business lady she was. Guy had some car repair done, and he thought it should have been covered under warranty. It wasn't. It was abuse on his own part, neither here nor there. But the bill was $175.
Yeah.
So he comes in with these bags of pennies and throws them up on the counter. He goes, "I'm here to pay my bill," clucking around like, look at me.
Strutting around.
And Miss Betty, you don't get anything over on her. She goes, "Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your business so very much." And she said, "You know what? Before I write you a receipt, let's let me count these to make sure that everything's here. 1, 2. She got to about 60, and he caved. He goes, "I'll just write you a check." So
Smart
he
aleck.
didn't get anything over on Miss Betty.
Smart aleck. The Watergate, an infamous name from our past. The hotel, the Watergate Hotel, has a new guest package called Arrested at the Watergate. That D.C. hotel became famous in 1972, of course, for the political scandal that eventually brought down Richard Nixon. The hotel is now embracing its history with the new package, which includes a whiskey flight. Now, what's a whiskey flight?
It's a board with shots of
different
with 4 or
types.
5
yeah,
different.
kind of like a beer flight or.
Okay.
I didn't know they called them flights, though.
Me, that's the first time I've heard of it.
I thought it was just called the sample package.
Yeah, it's a flight.
The sampler platter.
Don't know why it's called a flight, but
Obviously, I wouldn't know this, since I don't imbibe. Of course, told my wife, lips that touch whiskey will never touch mine.
So she went out and drank a whole quart.
it's it.
Bring me another flight! Mike!
Take that, deer slayer boy.
Mike! As it echoes through the forest.
Or you just see some deer out there walking around and say, "What? Man, I got to go up here and see what the heck that is."
No,
what is
that's
that?
not what they do. They take off to Edwards County when that happens. I'm going east. All right, anyway, I'm telling you about the whiskey flight.
Yeah.
Okay? This is not Southwest Airlines. I mean,
Not
we're
a drunk-
talking about...
not a drunk pilot.
No. You get a whiskey flight in the Watergate, Arrested at the Watergate package with the original arresting officers from 1972. They come in.
Oh, put your hands up.
They actually come in and drink the whiskey with you. And you get,
How do you get a job? How do you get a job like
wait a minute.
that?
You got to pay
Yes.
for your whiskey flight.
Oh, you-
and then
what's
somebody
some guy
comes in and
drinking?
drinks it for
Let me
you?
tell you something. The overall price tag will just blow you away. You want to guess how much? I'm not done giving you what you get.
Okay.
All right. You get to sit with those old cops, drink whiskey, and then you get to go to the scandal room where Howard Hunt and G. Gordon Liddy attempted to orchestrate the break-in of the Democratic National Convention headquarters. This package costs.
A couple of thousand at least.
What do you think?
I'm going to say, how many nights you get to stay there? Is it one night? It's
It
one
doesn't
night
say.
thing?
I don't know.
1,000.
2,500.
2,500.
Man,
2,500 for a flight of whiskey with some.
better be some good whiskey.
Yeah. Now
cops.
wait a minute. Now when you get the flight of whiskey, do you have to share it with the cops? Or do they get each a flight?
Oh, you're asking if there are multiple flights?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting the good stuff, and they're getting Acme. Acme bourbon.
Little. You're going to have your friend there, Hiram Walker,
Yeah.
Jim Beam,
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker,
Red
all
and black.
friends. Did you see where Edward Snowden, the whistleblower, he says that he had access to the files And he says aliens have not contacted Earth and chemtrails aren't real. The former NSA contractor who leaked information about the massive government surveillance programs said he had access to some of the nation's most closely guarded secrets. I've never understood that. How could a guy in his 20s with no more than an associate's degree have access to all of these highly sensitive files?
He's very trustworthy.
No, he's not. Clearly, he's not.
Pulls it up on his computer and goes, "Get her done."
He was speaking on the Joe Rogan Experience. It's a podcast. He said that if alien contact has been hidden, it's hidden really well because he had access. He's now living, of course, in exile in Russia.
In his mom's basement.
No. No. He's not back in the country.
Comrade's basement.
Yeah.
If you remember, he said
his comrade mom's basement.
That's right.
He said he'd come back if he could get a fair trial.
I think it's Boris and Natasha's basement. What is Moose and Squirrel?
Yeah.
Moose and Squirrel. I love that. All right, and here's the last one. And you've got trivia today, right?
I do.
And what's the topic?
Well, I'm going to tell you what it is. In celebration of the 7th game of the World Series,
yes,
we're going to do baseball team lineage. I'm going to give you a name of a team. You tell me where it came from.
All right.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So, how much time do I have to give you a last story here?
You can do it. Make it quick.
All right. It may be hard to believe, but rats can drive cars.
Yeah, I saw one this morning.
Okay, not a full-size car. Scientists in Virginia designed the car by putting a clear plastic food container on the wheels. They wanted to test if rats could master such a task, and it worked. They say 17 rats drove in a specified area and were awarded with treats. What's more, the team says the rats seemed relaxed and less stressed.
Hey, scientists, let me just throw something in here. People are dying by the thousands every day of cancer.
Yes.
I don't care if a rat can drive a car. I don't care. But I would like to see some
Test
progress
the rats
made.
and get some sort of
You bet.
solution to the cancer issue. I'm
Yeah.
with you on that.
All right.
All right, so we're ready for our questions.
Baseball lineage.
All right, this could be.
Give us the questions.
Got the Rat Pack. Excuse me, the Peanut Gallery.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll just give you the team, and then we'll Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
Baltimore Orioles.
Okay.
Houston.
Now, we've got to tell you what about them.
Where they came from.
Who
Where
were
they
before?
came from.
Yeah.
Who they were
And
before.
like the Houston Astros, I want to know what their name was before they were the Astros.
Okay, I got an idea.
Okay.
Okay. L.A. Dodgers.
Yeah.
Easy one. Minnesota Twins.
Mm-hmm.
Oakland A's.
Okay.
San Francisco Giants.
Okay.
Texas Rangers.
All right.
Washington Nationals. And St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay. I think I can do that. And we'll do it together as a team. Coming back after this break on Morning Coffee.
Let us keep you company from 5:36 to 6 each weekday morning. I'm Rita Frazier,
I'm DeLoss Yonke.
and we lead the RFD Radio Network team.
Give us 23 minutes every morning, and we will share the latest farm and agriculture news that could affect your life as a farmer, agribusiness professional, school board member, or landowner.
We're not sure what you're doing at 5:36 each morning.
Yeah, we're not sure we want to know.
Whether you're in the barn, cab, truck, or shower, or on the treadmill, tune in to this station and let us do the work for you, bringing you the news that you need for the day.
Join us here on your favorite local radio station every weekday morning. Stay tuned in throughout the day.
Local radio is still the best way to stay connected to your community.
Take a break from cooking this week and let Gotzi's Restaurant in Carmi cook for you. You can buy a $10 gift certificate for only $7 at the Big Deal Store on WFIWradio.com.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Gonzalez with People's National Bank. People's National Bank has partnered with Zelle. Zelle is an easy way to send and receive money with family, friends, and others you trust. You can use Zelle today right from your PNB To Go mobile banking app. Money moves directly between bank accounts fast. Stop by People's National Bank today to learn more about Zelle. Available to United States bank account holders only. Terms and conditions apply. The Zelle service is property of Early Warning Services, LLC. People's National Bank, member FDIC.
WFIWFM and Ultra Products are bringing back the popular Show Us Your Rack promotion. Now through December 31st, upload pictures of you and your buck to the Show Us Your Rack page at WFIWradio.com. The first 25 photos uploaded will receive a free t-shirt from Ultra Products in Fairfield. On Friday, January 3rd, one lucky hunter will be drawn from all the entries and win a Carbon Express Piledriver 390 crossbow valued at $400. Go to WFIWradio.com for complete details. Good luck, hunters.
It's here. The Big Deal Store is online and waiting for you to shop and buy gift certificates to local businesses. Go to your station's website, WFIWradio.com, and click on Big Deals. Here you'll find dozens of gift certificates for places like Three Chicks Fudgery, Act Tire and Auto, Boyd Furniture and Mattress Center, and Bullard's Farm Market and Bakery. You can shop 24 hours a day and save tons of money in the process. But you better hurry. You never know how long each deal will last.
Fairfield area weather forecast, a 70% chance for showers today, high 52. 90% chance tonight, low 35. 40% chance tomorrow, high 40. Sunny and 50 on Friday. For Saturday, mostly sunny, high 48. And for Sunday, mostly sunny with a high of 50. Overnight low 42, yesterday's high 52. 6/100ths of an inch of rainfall at the WFIW studios overnight. Currently, humidity is at 98%. Winds are out of the north at 6 miles an hour, pressure at 30.1. Right now, we've got some light showers in 45 here at the WFIW studios east of Fairfield. Radar showing a line of storms moving to the northeast through the southeastern part of Illinois at the present time.
Back on Morning Coffee, there's a couple things I want to talk about before we get to the trivia, because I think we're going to blow through this trivia. I think I know the answers to most of these questions.
All right,
so I want to remind you about the Wayne County Fair Board. They're having their annual Christmas Craft and Vendor Fair coming up on November 2nd between 8 and 3 at the fairgrounds. And you need to know more about this. Contact either Martha Hooper or Stephanie Caudle. This is there will be food there, breakfast and lunch.
Cub Scouts are having breakfast.
That's right. The Boy Scout Troop 173 will have breakfast and lunch. Oh, some of the people that are going to be there, they're going to have beaded jewelry. They're going to have lavender products. Oh,
whiskey flights.
Rugs. I think there's going to be a whiskey flight there. I don't believe that. Teddy Mountain. There's all kinds of people are going to be there. And it's the annual Christmas Craft and Vendor Fair coming up on November 2nd, Sunday?
That's Saturday.
Saturday. Okay. Saturday between 8 and 3 at the fairgrounds. Also, I can't believe more people haven't taken advantage of this. I'm going to do this more than one more time because it's just too big of a deal. You're looking for furniture. Ken, are you looking for furniture? Are you looking for any furniture for the house right now? You aren't. Well, when you do, that's the way to play into it.
Looking for somebody to help me paint.
This can't help you on that.
I know.
Really? What are you painting?
Walls.
Really?
Paneling. Old wooden paneling.
I can come and help you.
You've got a volunteer right there.
I hate to paint.
I don't hate it.
I just don't know when I'm going to have time.
I just don't do it. I just don't do it for other people. Let's put it that way. Here's Eubinger's Furniture Company up in Flory, right up the road.
Up to Flory.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. They've been there forever. Second generation family owned business. And the deal is, if you go to our website, WFIWradio.com, there is a box up at the top. It's the Big Deal Store. There's all kinds of deals. All you do is you click on it, you buy a certificate, you take it to the business, and you get so much more for your dollar. For instance, if you bought a $50 certificate on the Big Deal Store for Eubingers, because you're looking for, a chair, you'll get $100 in value when you walk into Eubingers. It's ridiculously easy, and you can save a ton of money. Buy more than one. You can buy a $400 sofa for $200. All you have to do is go to the Big Deal Store. That's on WFIWradio.com. com, and there's plenty of food items as well that you can go and eat for half price or 3/4 price. It's just too good of a deal. So please, listen to me, try it, and that gets us to Ken Odie on KO Wednesday, and it's time for trivia. So, baseball trivia on the World Series.
All right, Atlanta Braves. Where did they come from? There were two towns actually.
Milwaukee and Boston.
Boom!
You beat me. Yeah, I had that.
Number 2, Baltimore Orioles.
St. Louis Browns.
What year?
1951.
Nope.
53.
I would say
53.
47.
54.
54, okay.
The Houston Astros. What were they called before they were the Houston Astros?
The Colt
45s.
Colt
yeah.
45s. Boy, that'd never fly now, would it?
No, it wouldn't. I remember the stadium. I actually walked. It was still standing when they built the Astrodome. It was right next door.
Yeah.
And so I can remember walking past the Colt 45 Stadium to go to the eighth wonder of the world, that being the Astrodome.
Mm-hmm. L.A. Dodgers. Yeah, that's a tough one.
And Brooklyn. And it was the genesis of that was that you were dodging the streetcars on your way to the stadium that were right outside. That's how they got. Okay. That's how they got that name.
Minnesota Twins.
They were the Washington Senators, weren't they?
That is correct.
That was remember Frank Howard?
I do.
Frank's about 6'7", about 300 pounds, and he could hit the ball.
Oakland A's.
Well, Oakland was originally in Philadelphia, but then they went to Kansas City.
Correct. San Francisco Giants.
Remember Charlie O?
Yep. New York Giants.
Yes.
Texas
Polo
Rangers.
Grounds.
I think the Texas Rangers, if I'm not mistaken, we're not giving the Peanut Gallery a chance here.
No,
I think
we're
they were the Seattle Pilots, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, there were another Washington Senators. There were 2 of them that moved out of Washington.
Okay.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Well, then I got to hold back that Seattle Pilot
reference
because that might be an answer later.
Okay. No,
Right.
it isn't.
It isn't? Okay.
All right. Number 9, the Washington Nationals.
It would be the Minnesota or the
No.
Montreal Expos.
Correct.
Yeah.
And number 10,
Number
it's
10
the
is
St. Louis Cardinals.
I believe they were originally they were the Browns at one time, and then they were the Perfectos. I don't even know what a Perfecto
That is correct. In 1899, the St. Louis Browns became the St. Louis Perfectos. That season, Willie McHale, a columnist for the St. Louis Republic, reportedly heard a woman refer to the team's red stockings as a lovely shade of cardinal. McHale included the name in his column, and it was an instant hit among fans. Team officially changed its nickname in what year?
1903.
Close. 1900 is correct.
1900. Okay. You know, that's the same way I remember from my Fairfield history that the Mules got their name. They were playing a game, and I believe it was against Carmi because that rivalry goes back to before 1900. And a columnist, I believe it was Tom Matthews Jr., said the boys from Fairfield played with the stubbornness of a group of mules. Whatever. Remember what we told you what a group of mules was?
Yeah.
No. I forget it now. That was a Mary Gain reference.
They were the Barefoot Boys before that.
The Barefoot Boys?
The Fairfield Barefoot Boys.
That would be...
Because they had a...
Aren't we the only mules in the state?
I believe so.
Yes. Walt Blackburn used to tell a story that they had a huge copper wash tub.
Yeah.
And that the visitors got to take a bath first, and then seniors, juniors, sophomore, and freshmen.
Freshmen had some dirty water.
Same water.
Ooh, that water was dirty when it got done.
What a great resource that was. It was.
So anyway, that's how they got the mules. That's and by the way, only I think one season in the 50s did the uniform for the Cardinals rid itself of the birds on the bat. And that was a horrifically bad season. So they thought that was probably not a good idea. They brought the birds on the bat back, and it's been a part of the uniform ever since.
All right.
Have we bellied up to the trough of knowledge?
We have learned a few things.
Ken Odie's always interesting.
You guys now know what a whiskey flight is.
We do.
We sure do.
Or a beer flight.
And I'm getting on board. Thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
We'll be back here tomorrow. Take care. Alexa, play WFIW.
It's time for classic hits from WFIW.